So, Dr. Gail, it's finally nice to meet you. And
You too.
yes. So, you're an author. I've been reading your book, The War on Health. Tell me more about it. Tell me what inspired you.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that book. That's my second book, by the way,
Yes.
just so you know.
Okay.
The first one was just a recipe book because on my healing and health journey, I had to find new ways to eat.
Yes.
So I had to get creative in the kitchen.
Because like you said, what we think is healthy is not.
So I was trying to make versions of what I liked that wasn't healthy taste good. So
Yes.
I ended up doing that with essential oils, and that was my first book called Eat Well.
Eat well.
Eat Well, yeah. But with this book, I just really was suffering. My health was suffering, and so it's kind of like when it gets down to the point where you're at the end of yourself.
Yes.
You cry out, Lord, help me, because the doctors were not giving me any solutions to what was going on with me. So I cried out and I said, Lord, if you show me how to heal from all these illnesses that I had, I mean, from hypothyroidism to chronic fatigue to what else, leaky gut. I mean, it was a long list.
Yes.
And I'll tell the world, just show me, because I knew with my DNA, I'm a believer, so I'm made in His image, so my DNA is His DNA. So on my DNA, I knew your body will repair itself.
Yes.
I just knew that. Nobody could tell me anything different. Nobody. And so He listened. He heard me, and he said, okay. So He took me on that healing journey. Now I wanted it to end quickly.
Yeah.
But that journey, it was a while. It was months. But I got better and better and better. And now I'm pretty good. It took 4 years, though, to write that book.
The War on Health?
Mm-hmm. Only because I had some things going on. I lost my parents last year, so I put it on the shelf and that kind of thing. And, and writing it, and it was so, full of information that He kept giving me. I need to talk about that. You need to talk about this. You need to talk about that. And it just kept getting more and more, to where it says, okay, you're good now.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it was basically stress. It was doing things the world's way. I'll put it like that.
Mm-hmm.
I own my own practice. I worked at Howard University as a professor for about 11 years, just doing things the world's way, burning the candle at both ends.
Yeah. Eating
late at night, eating pasta, not sleeping, not getting rest. I mean, church. You talk about church on Sunday. I was sleeping. I was exhausted.
Yeah, I bet.
So my body just broke down in all kind of ways. So that's what my book talks about. But it also gives a lot of solutions, to what you can do to avoid that. And I just try to take people step by step on how to heal the body, mind, and spirit. Because it's all
they're connected.
Exactly.
It's not like they're separate. So.
They're not separate. That's how you get optimum healing. You can't heal one like the body and forget about the other two. It doesn't work like that. Most people would like to think it does, but it doesn't. And getting off the medications and all these other diseases, and people don't realize that the emotional aspect of things like bitterness, unforgiveness, resentment, all these other negative emotions, they play a huge role.
And that they actually can play, like that role that you're talking about, it can have an effect on your body.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it might not seem tangible at first, but over time it can have a hard wear on your body too.
Absolutely. Like the last stage of what the Lord asked me to deal with was forgiveness, forgiving my mom.
Mm.
And I was like, nope, Lord, I don't want to do that. He goes, but you have to.
Yeah.
You have to. And I said, okay, And it was because of the love of Him in me that allowed me to love her and not see all the trauma and stuff.
Yeah.
That I could just love her and I didn't think about it anymore. And that was only God.
That can only be. So there's some situations that
absolutely
it has to be divine.
It has to be God. Because what it does, and I didn't know this at the time until I was going through it and studying, is that those negative emotions, they like lodge in your cells. And just imagine that year after year after year after year after year, lodging in your cells. Your cells will not be able to function the way that they're supposed to be.
Yeah, not at an optimal level.
No.
You know,
So you're never going to be healed. You got to get rid of that. You got to dump it, you know, and that's why all the cares need to be cast on Him.
And you were talking about your cells and how important, you know, even just the act of forgiveness to help on a cellular level. Like, there's a reason why God tells us to forgive others, you know, to release that, and allow Him to heal you in a way that is intended.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like for me, my liver, so that unforgiveness affected my liver.
Your liver, wow.
And liver, I mean, we need our livers to work optimally.
Yes, I noticed in your book you name different organs and how certain emotions, whether positive or negative, can affect your different, like your heart, your liver, your kidneys. I thought that was interesting. In your
Isn't
book.
that interesting?
Yes.
Fear with the kidneys, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It's all connected. It's all connected. So, you know, the Bible is like the best book that there is.
Yes.
I mean, like, that's our manual.
Yes.
What's it? There's an acronym for that. It's the basic instruction before leaving Earth.
Oh, that's a good one.
It really is. Everything you ever wanted to know, everything you ever need to know how to do is right there. It's right there. That's why I quote so many scriptures in there.
And I noticed you started with creation. And the
Yes.
first thing that God said was, let there be light. And you mentioned how, and we know that with sound is a vibration, and God's voice, you know, He just needs to speak a word. We know things change, but even with Him talking about, let there be light, that created that sound, and there was light. And I couldn't help but think about the scalar wave room and the vibration and that frequency that is sent.
Isn't that interesting?
Yes. How did you know, or how did you hear about the scalar wave energy enhancement room?
You know what? I mentioned frequency a little bit in my book. I didn't go into any major detail because this was not out.
Oh, okay.
This was not out.
I was curious about that too, if it was around the same time.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. But I wanted to know more about it. And so I'm in a lot of telegram rooms that have to do with healing and other things. And I stumbled across the EES system in there. And then my sister had gone to one in New Jersey. She took her puppies there, I think. And she went there as well. And she just raved about it. So she said, you should just look this up. And I did, and I read about it, and I called up there to the center and talked with Michelle at great lengths about it, and I was just like, wow, this is really interesting. So it's like kind of like what you said, you know, God said, let there be light. Well, we are light. We come from the earth. He spoke that out into into creation, into the universe. We're part of that universe. We're made from the dust of the ground. Right?
Yes.
Those particles. So that's why it's important. Sound, like what we say. We have a sound. Your sound is different than my sound and his sound. It's all different. But what we say is so powerful. That's why we have to watch our words. It's hard. I mean, I have to listen more than I speak.
Right.
I'll put it like that.
We can all use that extra practice.
Right. You know, we've been used to hearing negative things about ourselves, and the enemy puts these thoughts in and they come out and all that. But that's really, really important because of speaking and what the Lord did. But yeah, so when I found out about these and frequency, I'm like, this is really amazing. And then finding out that I don't know how it's in there, but the DNA of Yahweh in Hebrew is in those waves.
Really?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yes.
There. And I thought that was very, very interesting. You know, I'm like, wow. And it makes sense because in order for our cells to really operate, dump what it needs, the toxins that we're so bombarded with on a daily basis, and get the nutrients in from the food, the vitamins, you know, that kind of thing, it has to function optimally with energy, frequency. you know? So it vibrates at like 70 to 90 millivolts in a normal, healthy cell.
Right.
But as if it's toxic, or, you know, if there's a lot of disease going on and that kind of thing, it decreases. So that's where you're getting all these chronic illnesses and stuff from. So what this is it's kind of like rebooting you.
Yeah, like a recharging.
Like,
yes.
we're like one big battery, a bunch of little batteries.
Yes.
However you want to think about it. So it's kind of cool.
It
And
is.
it's easy.
A
Who
lot of
doesn't want to go to
benefits.
sleep?
Yes.
2 hours.
Sleep being yes.
Right? I can't wait to go.
Do you mind sharing like what benefits you've experienced from?
Yeah, you know, well, I'm pretty healthy, but what I have noticed is that, like, I don't require as much sleep as I normally would. Now, I have a cube.
Yes.
I do have that. And it's a smaller version. It's like a little baby version.
Yeah.
So it's really getting like a third of, this is like an 8 monitor one. I think it's a third of the 4 or 8.
Okay.
Probably the 4, but anyway. But I find that I'm not as tired in the morning. Like I could be sleeping 5 hours at night and I'm full of energy
Ready to go.
in the morning. I've had minor pain sometimes when I've come up here, you know, tweaking my ankle or something
Right.
like that. When I do a session, it's gone. Mood's really good, which is pretty good anyway, but I just feel more energy
Mm-hmm.
and overall just wellness, pretty much. So yeah, I can see how it would help somebody that's, you know, chronic, but you have to keep coming. That's the thing.
That's what I was going to ask you. What advice or encouragement would you give someone who's considering it, or maybe even on the skeptical side of they're still interested but maybe hesitant?
Well, hopefully with my explanation about the cells, they'll understand that we're energy and
Yes.
your frequency needs to be at a certain millivolt, but you have to keep coming. You know, I mean, we kind of live in a society where we want it now, you know, we want it
Yes.
fixed now. That's why the pills are there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The pills will do that for you with medication. But yeah, I would say just keep coming, keep at it, and you'll see a difference. Everybody's case is different, so everybody's
Exactly.
response is going to be different. So you can't say come for a month, come for 6 months. It's just, you know, what you believe in. I think doing your own research is always good.
Yes.
You know, that way you know how much you want to put into it, and how it'll kind of give you an idea of, you know, what you believe in. Because if you don't believe in it, it probably is not going to work. You're
Yeah.
wasting your time.
Yeah.
Because I had a lot of conversation with the folks up there at the EES system, and it's a combination of things. You know, it's what you believe, and it's your diet. You still got to do the nutrition part.
Still got to do it.
You still got
Yes.
to do that. Still got to drink that water. You know, you still got to, you know, live responsibly and eat responsibly.
Yes.
So yeah.
Well, Dr. Gail, I'm very appreciative of this time with you. I'm glad I got to meet you, and
You too.
I'm going to continue reading your book.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing the benefits that you've experienced. And your book again is The War on Health by Dr. Gail Davis.
Exactly.
Okay.
Get it on Amazon, Books a Million, or Barnes & Noble.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.